Well, Echo, it really does sound like you have a son who's a very sensitive boy. He's sensitive, and every community needs the sensitive people, the more inside kind of people, and more outside kind of people. We need that because we're a team. He's a sensitive boy. It's hard to know sometimes if his degree of sensitivity and his need to withdraw deep inside himself, it's hard to know sometimes if that's a reaction to a very frightening experience, or if that's also a part of his nature, where he does a lot of his processing deep inside. And when you see that happen, you worry about him and you feel a little helpless sometimes in trying to reach into him. You would like for him to tell you everything that's hurting him and frightening him. And you also worry when you see that when somebody is physically very dominant, that he goes into his shell and he doesn't fight back. It sounds like he does not like the rough and tumble. That's not who he is. That's not the kind of person that he is. It overwhelms him. He's a very internal, very sensitive boy, and that's interesting. You'll discover over the years as he grows up that even though that seems like a weakness, it will also be his strength, because most thoughtful people that are very philosophical, very intellectual, or very creative, or healers that are very sensitive to emotion and feeling, we tend to be very internal. We're not designed for the big rah-rah and the rough and tumble of life. That's for other people, right? The sensitive ones, we go slowly and we spend a lot of time inside. And to some degree, that's, I think, who your son needs to be. And perhaps something has really frightened him a lot. And if you want to help him to begin to speak more about what hurts him, disappoints him, and to say, I don't like this, to bring that out loud. You said in your question that you don't know how to go into his inner world. I want to make a different suggestion for your son. For the time being, try not to go into his inner world, but just wait. Wait and be near him. Let him, rather than chasing him or going to find him, which makes him want to hide possibly even more. Let him know gently that you're available when he's ready. I'm here for you. If you want me, if you want to talk to me, I'm here for you, okay? I care about you. I love you. And then just remain in your own. Still, just be calm, be silent, do your own thing, and just remain available. Even meditative, available to him, and wait. Just wait. Can you see the silence in waiting? That's beautiful. That's a safe space. It might take him some time. Give him that time. If that's difficult, be near him, or just maybe read or do something on your laptop that you need to do some work and emailing, but remind him, I'm here for you when you want me, and give him the space. If you can, sit with him and just be calm. Like with a meditation and with your eyes open to him, and just wait. When you do that, when you go into that receptive space, you're not chasing him, you're letting him come to you. He wants to do that. He wants to be known, but he needs to take his own time. In nature, all of the animals, the insects and the animals that protect themselves by covering themselves in a shell, after a while they want to come out. So if he comes through in his own time, that'll be better for him. And he may not want to say directly what upset him, It's very important to understand, often children and, adults too, there's a symbolic language. He might show you rather than tell you, with the way that he plays with his toys. And sometimes just trust him. If he comes to you and he wants a hug, just rather than take him, receive him. Let him do the driving. Let him do the driving. He will come forward more and more and more. He's still in a very, very sensitive young age. Okay? And the last thing I want to say is that it's usually with children too difficult, not always, but usually too difficult to ask them to explain their feelings when they're in the middle of the big feeling. It's easier if you wait till afterwards. And I recommend that, even the day after. And you could ask him gently. When you see that he's not worried or upset, and he's playful and he's just enjoying himself and he's calm and quiet, you can ask him, hey, I'm really interested in knowing, son, when yesterday and you were like this in your blanket, what were you thinking about? And how are you feeling? I would really like to hear about that. And maybe afterwards you can start to nurture those conversations with him so that he can't tell you on the moment, but he can start to speak with you afterwards. Please remember that this is a long-term project. It won't all resolve itself in a week. Growth is like with a tree. You keep watering it and you come back to look at it and it looks exactly the same. But then come back in a few years and so much growth has happened. So it's always little by little and little by little. This is a long game. And I wish you well with that and with your sensitive and interesting son. Thank you for your question.